Okay, so we are up and running. We've got another episode of the Fighting Network. Appreciate you all being here again. And I really enjoy doing this. I have once a week, I usually record the podcast, and the Fighting Networker has been really a challenging project for me because just to make the time to do it. But it's been great meeting people on the streets of the internet, having them as guests. And I found a great guy on the internet and the streets of the internet, Troy Thompson, a cool guy. Look at him. He's something else. And I really have a lot to ask Troy because he's no doubt a fighting networker. He is an entrepreneur with a great spirit. He's very energetic, very enthusiastic. And Troy said, Jack, get me on. Let's do this. So Troy, here we are. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, Jack. Hopefully I can live up to that intro. Enthusiasm, excitement. Hopefully I can match your energy, but it's an honor to be on your show. I've been following what you're posting on social media, and I love everything about you as well. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I am an original school entrepreneur. Before the streets of the internet, I worked the streets of the hood. And I really changed my whole game about 5 years ago. I said, you know what? I'm jumping both feet into this. And so that's what took me into the podcast. I started, I think, the podcast like a year ago or something like that, trying to do an episode every week. And the challenging thing was just, learning how to keep the guests going every week. And sometimes you get lucky. And I stumbled into a great group. That's where we've met. And so I've got like 40 people in the lineup wanting to be on this podcast.
Wow.
You
That's
know?
all it takes, right?
Yeah, that's kind of how it
You
all
know?
works.
Yeah.
So you're an entrepreneur. You've got the Fighting Network of Spirit. Tell me about what you do. You're in the insurance business. You also have you're in this. You got some type of a professional assistant, some type of a digital support system for streaming on Facebook. Talk to me about what you're up to.
All right. Just to clarify that last one, virtual assistants. I have a company, 180 people strong out of Pakistan, Islamabad, Pakistan. And they're amazing individuals, the top 1% of 1% there, college degrees, speak great English, just amazing people. And it works because of the currency arbitrage where, we can pay a lot less here in America for high quality talent, but they're still getting paid above average in Pakistan. And there's not as much demand for high quality workers in Pakistan as there is here in America. So it's a great thing. It works out very, very well. But to go way back, Jack, I do own an insurance agency, and that's how I started Savvital, which is the virtual assistant company. But you mentioned the streets. You cut your teeth on the streets, and that's what I did too. I was a door-to-door salesman back in college for Southwestern, and I sold books door to door, 80 hours a week, literally knocking on doors on the streets of other cities and states all over the country. And talk about a great way to learn how to sell, promote yourself, learn how business works, learn how entrepreneurship works. And yeah, that's how I got my start into business and into sales. Then I was lucky enough to buy my agency from my dad. So I sold cable door to door for a while, but my dad started Farmers Insurance. He was with Farmers Insurance for many years. Then he went independent at 62 years old. So, I have so much respect for my dad, and I got so lucky. He went independent, and then a few years later, I joined him and started knocking on doors again for 10, 15 years, and really helped grow the independent insurance agency I'm part of now that I own, Pinnacle Insurance in Minnesota. And that kind of dovetails on how I started Savvital too. So that was very quick. I'm going to take a breath now.
No, that's cool. I love you. I think that is the most awesome thing I think everybody should experience going door to door, talking to people about something. It's such a good thing for your self-esteem, for your confidence, to help you to get over fear. But I can remember when I sold vacuum cleaners door to door. It was my
Oh,
first.
Kirby?
Yeah, no, Rainbow.
Rainbow, okay.
And
Competitors, right?
What was that?
Kirby's competition.
That's right. Yeah, the Rainbow was a water vac, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it because it was not only challenging, but it was scary as hell. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that fear because I didn't know what I was gonna, what was gonna happen on the next door I rang. And many times you didn't have the doorbell. You had to actually knock. And I would be out there for so many hours. I mean, I remember one time my knuckles were actually bleeding.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Then I started to wear a glove. But the door-to-door thing, that really, it really preps you for life, regardless of, what business you're gonna go into. But
You know what, Jack? Something about door to door too. I still do it to this day
yep,
with my insurance agency, and it works better than it ever has in the history of sales. You know why? Because everybody says it doesn't work anymore.
yep.
Everybody thinks you need to be a digital marketer and email people and text people and, voice drop people, whatever you want to do. But when you knock on someone's door and talk to them, they don't have that anymore. So they're a lot more responsive, and people like that face-to-face interaction that they don't get anymore. So it's kind of a secret weapon today more than ever.
It really is. And you're so true. That's so true. It's such an accurate statement. Because we're in the people business, and if you can just have a plan to talk to people, you're going to be successful. And you go out there on the weekends, or you go out there after 5 o'clock during the weekdays and people are home. It's just such a I think everybody, especially, if you're in sales, any entrepreneur, you should put a plan together to go door to door in your city. I really believe that.
I agree with you 100%. In fact, my kids started when they were 7 and 8. I buy them those boxes of variety chips, like the whatever, Doritos, regular potato chips, Fritos. Buy them, they equal about 20 cents a bag. They're probably 30, 40 cents now, but and they sell them for $1 a piece. Easiest sale in the world. And sure, they're cute kids, so people buy from them, but you're still teaching them to face their fears, knock on a door, tell them they're selling chips for $1 a bag, and give them a deal if they sell all 5 varieties for $1 off. And my kids have done that, and they make 50, 60, 70 bucks an hour doing that because people give them tips too. So
That is very cool. That is very cool. What a great thing you can, what a skill. You teach your kid how to talk to people they don't know and go door to door. That is
yeah.
really
And then I can have them compete. I get them each a box, and I'm like, the one who gets through the box first gets a $20 bonus from me. So we
very
make it a
cool.
game.
Very cool. So you're a busy guy. What do you got going on? What are your days like?
Yeah.
Are you an organized guy? I mean, being an entrepreneur, you've got to be organized. You have to follow a plan. Talk to me about that. How do you deal with that?
That's a good question. And my day to day, I do own a successful insurance agency. We have 13 employees, 3 of which are virtual assistants from my other company, Savvital. And one of them, she checks my emails for both of my companies, for my VA company and my insurance agency. So she's helping manage that. Not only that, she coordinates the meetings with people. So if I want to have an important meeting with someone, I'm the one that sends out the original email, but I copy her on it. And I'm like, hey, Joe, or hey, Jack, I'd love to meet up with you. I'd love to have a Zoom or a coffee. This is the coffee shop I like to meet at. I've copied my assistant on this email to help coordinate a time that works. Can't wait to hang out with you soon. Something like that. And then my assistant will take it from there. She knows my schedule, my calendar, and she knows where I'm meeting, and she does all the back and forth with that person. So that's one way I stay organized, is just having an assistant
Mhm.
help do that for me. We also follow EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System, Traction, the book. You
Mhm.
familiar with that?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's it's not cheap. We have a implementer that or is an integrator. I always get those confused. We have a coach that helps teach us how to have weekly meetings. Everybody has a to-do list. Everybody has rocks, which are 90-day goals. We have 1-year goals. We have 3-year goals. We have 10-year BHAG goals, big, hairy, audacious goals. And we meet every single week and talk about our issues, with the leadership team. That way, we're not talking about problems we have, but issues don't get solved. Problems don't get solved unless you have a set meeting offsite every single week to really dive into those top issues and practice IDS: identify, discuss, solve.
Mhm.
Get four members on the leadership team. We identify the issue, discuss, get
Mhm.
clarity. What is the exact issue? And then we solve it. And then we assign that for someone to make sure it gets solved.
Yeah, because an entrepreneur, today we're living in a time where more people are becoming entrepreneurs, want to be entrepreneurs, and it's not an easy gig because you got to figure it out. And you've got to be, you got to be like strict to routine. You've got to follow a plan, and it's just not easy. But it gets easier the more you stay on it, and the more you hold yourself accountable. But in that first, say, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, most people just can't make it. Why do you think people just can't make it? What is the deal?
They just don't have the balls, for a lack of a better word. They don't have the initiative to know it's going to work out. I mean, that's part of being an entrepreneur, right? You have
Yep.
to burn the boats, go out and not have that security blanket of a full-time job. And then the first time you reach adversity, not say, I need to go back to my job, my security. You just have to have faith and work your butt off. And sadly, yeah, that is true. A lot of people do fail. They probably give up too soon, right?
Oh, for sure. Like because you're in the insurance business, you've got salespeople, and these guys. Do you go through? Is it like a revolving door? Do these guys stick with you? What do you got going on there?
Yeah, I pay people a lot of money. I pay them a good base, a really high commission, because I don't want my people to leave.
Right.
And I just think long term how much more it's going to cost to find, train,
Hmm.
and hire a new person. And guess what? If one of them quits, then I'm going to have to be in sales, and then I can't work on my other business, which is my VA business. So I
Hmm.
pay them a lot of money, and I basically have my insurance agency running. Um, and I'm also in charge of sales at Savvital. And we have 13 people at Pinnacle, but we have 180 employees at my VA company out of Pakistan as well.
Yeah. And when you think about, you only have so many hours in the day, and you're running this business, you've got that gig going on. Plus, you look like you're in good shape. I mean, part of your plan, you've got to get some exercise going on, right?
Well, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'm trying to get in better shape. I just got this thing. It's a continuous glucose monitor. You ever
Uh-huh.
looked into those?
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah, just trying to manage my glucose after you eat, and it tells me when to go. Like I just took a 30-minute walk before I got on this because I ate lunch, which
Yeah,
meant my glucose is gonna spike.
sure.
Um, so to control that, it says to go for a brief walk. So I'm into that. I still could lose 15, 20 pounds, but I appreciate you noticing, Jack.
Yeah, no, I mean, and the camera says puts 10 pounds on you. You look like you're doing pretty good at about 185 or something. I don't
No,
know.
I'm 215.
All right, that's cool.
I got to get some of those smoothie texts.
Yeah, well, that brings me to this whole point. I'm sponsored by Smoothie Text, which is a company I have, and it pays for what I'm doing. It gives me the flexibility and freedom that I've had for so many years. But smoothietext.com, it's a premier service. It's a revolutionary service. I don't think there's anything like it right now, but I know people are going to catch on. It's like, how do you, in just 2 minutes, sign up for a free subscription? Give your shipping address that you would have the smoothie mixes sent to, put your credit card in there. And so that when you receive a smoothie text daily and you see a flavor that you'd like to try, it takes just 3 seconds for you to text number one, and you'll get the most delicious, healthy smoothie mixes sent to your
Hmm.
home. And I think it's a great service, and they're delicious smoothies. And today, everybody's into smoothies. And so this is one of my gigs that I've got going on. It's really my love, and I've been in the business with smoothies before it was hot. Today, everyone's into it, but I started in like
Oh,
1987 when nobody was into it.
yeah. Are
But
these the smoothies that, are like that the nutritional hubs and stuff that a lot of them don't have any sugar or very little sugar and stuff like that?
yeah, yeah. There's so many different flavors and so many different brands. And so, regardless, I mean, there's a lot of good smoothies out there, but I like the service because every day you get a text message. and it keeps your, it like holds you accountable. It reminds you to drink, because your
Yes.
smoothies work if you drink them. You know what I mean? But if you're not drinking these things, so that smoothie text, it comes like at noontime, 12 o'clock every day, you get another text message from Smoothie Text. But yeah, I mean, people whip
I'm
it
gonna
up in
check it
their
out.
fingers, however, and it's all good. So I just wanted to give my little poke on that deal. But talk to me about your virtual your streaming business. You got a
Yeah.
streaming business going on.
So maybe I wasn't clear enough. Basically, these are real human beings that can be plugged into your business. A lot of them are for marketing and customer service. They're like full-time employees, and they will work for whatever business. The majority of my clients at Savvital are insurance agency owners because I eat my own dog food. That's how I started Savvital. I met an amazing person, Mo, that did such a good job. I said, how many more Mo's can we get after a few years of him working in my agency? He said unlimited. So from there, we started this company from 6 people to 180. What they do at my agency, they manage all my social media. They answer our phones. They manage our marketing. They manage our changes with our carriers. There's a lot of day-to-day service tasks that are associated with an insurance agency, as most businesses, right? Everybody's got the day-to-day $15 an hour tasks, and that's the goal. They take those over, so my local team, the licensed people, can really talk to the current clients and be
Mhm.
proactive and ask them about their families and get referrals and round their accounts instead of remembering how to a VIN number, type a VIN number in, or a driver's license number.
Mhm.
So not only insurance, though, they work for construction companies, realtors, marketing agencies. We're getting into dentists finally, because we know dentists, just like every business, they have a lot of claims, insurance follow-up, client follow-up, stuff like that. So that's going to be a awesome vertical for us as
So
well.
talk. What about your social media plan? Do you have a posting plan? Are you on all the platforms? How do you deal with that? Do you do videos? Do you do written? Do you do a mixture? Or do you have someone else do it?
Yeah, our VAs do it. Our VAs will do it. They'll plug in and learn exactly what you want to say, all the way down to, let's say you wanted to, you are great, by the way, with your social media. So I wouldn't even say you need us, but let's say you wanted to get more granular and reach out to your top referral partners, your top people, um, like, comment, share their posts. So all of a sudden they're like, man, Jack's just not posting for himself. He's very interested in me now too. Um, like you said, I mean, the different platforms, YouTube, getting into reels, cutting the reels up, doing stuff like that, they can do. Um, Instagram, all whatever you want them to focus on, they can focus on. You just don't want to give them 100 different things to do day one. You have to treat them
Sure.
like a local employee and say, this is the number one thing I want you to do. And let's talk about it. And they're going to get better and better and better. And then before long, you're not even doing that. And you're able to do more podcasts like you're
Yeah.
doing now.
I love the podcast. I also have a blog. I every day I have a new skill that I'm working on. It's like an exercise. You go to the gym today, you work your chest. Tomorrow you work your shoulders. And so Monday I work, my blog. Tuesday I work this. Wednesday I do the podcast. And so each day becomes a new exercise. So like I said, this has been a new world for me. No, almost 5 years. But I had to get an assistant because you need one. And
Yeah.
I have an assistant. He's from Ghana. And
Okay. So you know all about what I'm talking about.
I got the deal down. The Ghana guy, I call him number one because he's like the most important person in my gig
That's
because he can
awesome.
do all the stuff that I can't. He is the digital genius. When I tried to figure that out on my own, I'll tell you what, it was so challenging. And so, yeah, to have an assistant, someone that can help you. If you're a young entrepreneur and you're getting started out, the thing is with these young people today, Troy, they can do all this stuff. They get the edge. But I'm in my 60s. I look at this stuff and it's like, what? How do you do this?
No.
And so, yeah, having that assistant in the digital world uh, is unbelievable. And
Yeah,
I believe that this is the greatest time in like human history to be an entrepreneur.
it
Uh,
is.
It really is when you think about all the stuff. When we do business on the internet today, I mean, you do all your advertising on the internet. It's like free. Posting is free, and there's tools today that are free. And when I think about in the original day, I mean, when the biggest tool we had was a telephone, and you were paying 28 cents a minute. And now, I mean, it's just unbelievable.
It's free.
Yeah,
Just
it's
like this
free.
podcast. This is evergreen.
It's
We'll
unbelievable.
probably get clients from this 5 or 10 years from now. You
Yeah,
never know, right?
yeah,
And it
yeah.
works for you for free forever. It's an amazing time.
It really is. So I'm going to close out the last mile of my life, or the last lap. I don't know how many laps, but I hope I get another 30 years. I'd love to get to 90 years old, because I think I can do I think I can do this decade more business than I've done in the last 30 years,
Mm,
all on the streets of the internet. And so I'm excited about the times that we live
yeah.
in.
I love how you said that. And it kind of contradicts what I said earlier about how you have to go face to face. But if you do it right, like
You do
this is
both.
video. This
Yeah,
is video. This isn't you hiding behind something. This is putting yourself out there. So it is kind of like the new door to door, right? You do
yeah,
video, you do audio, but it's the real people having real conversations.
yeah.
But it goes forever.
It really is. I will not stop the fighting networker. I want to keep the episodes going, and I was excited to have you today. And we were talking about how busy we can get. Now you go for your walks and stuff. If we're gonna do good things in life, we gotta be healthy. We've got to live a long life. We got to have lots of energy, and when we think about being an entrepreneur, a lot of guys get started up and all they do is work, 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 work. They sacrifice their fitness, they sacrifice their family, they sacrifice their social life. How do you keep a balanced life? Do you struggle with that? What's going on with that?
Well, it dovetails on what you said about fitness. I mean, I coach my kids' sports. My kids are 10 and 11 now,
Awesome.
but I get up every morning by 5 a.m. and then I like to get and put on the weighted vest. I go take a walk. 10,000 steps is what I try to have before I leave the house. So then I don't have to worry about my steps anymore. And I have a gym in my garage. So I'll just do about 20 minutes of lifting just to be consistent. Um, but feeling good about yourself, drinking smoothies, exercising, trying to eat right, you're exactly right. It'll give you that more energy so you can do things like work your butt off during the day, but then you have time to coach your kids at night.
Very good.
Only problem I'm encountering now is a lot of my son's baseball games are at 8 at night, so I'm not getting home till 10:30.
Oh, that hurts.
So my bedtime's usually 8:30, 9 o'clock. So
Yeah, yeah.
now I
I
have
mean,
to take a nap in the middle of the day, but only 20 minutes, and that pretty much
yeah.
does the trick. Get that quick REM sleep,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you're ready to go.
Yeah. I mean, the 5 a.m. club, you got to get in the 5 a.m. club. It's so good when you can get in that 5, because if you don't, you're up at 7 and you're behind on the day, and it
Yeah,
just doesn't go as smooth.
it's your time. It's your time. And I was listening to one of your podcasts, uh, I think a couple mornings ago. Just motivated the heck out of me. I mean, you have guys on here that are just super successful, that have met Jim Rohn and stuff like that. And just to hear those stories, it's a great way. It's your time getting up that early to do whatever you want, pump yourself up for the day and the week. And nothing important happens at 5 a.m., right? So you can always get it in as long as you wake up.
Yeah, I'm not a morning person, and I struggle with the 5 a.m. club, but more than not, I do it, and I work it hard, because I know, I like to get a bed. I like to get to bed by 8:30, 9 o'clock, the latest, so that I can get up that early.
Hmm.
But it makes a world of difference. And yeah, you do have to have a lot of energy. You cannot be an entrepreneur, work like an entrepreneur has to work, a business owner has to work, not eat right, not get the rest, and think you're going to make it. And even if you do make it, who the hell wants to be successful? You got
Exactly.
3 different diet-related diseases. You're 60 pounds overweight. You look 10 years older than you really are, and your energy is horrible. I mean, nothing, the real wealth in life is health, isn't it?
Oh, I agree 100%. You follow Andy Elliott at all?
No.
This guy kind of takes it to the extreme. He's got a six pack and the people on his team. He's like the new Grant Cardone.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, there's always a new guru out there that,
yeah.
but he takes people up on stage as he's speaking and he's like, take your shirt off. And if they're overweight, he embarrasses them. He's like, that's why you're not a good salesman. You don't even take
Ooh,
care of your own body.
ooh, there's a lot of reality to that, but that hurts.
A little bit. There is a little bit of truth to that. And I'll be honest, it motivates me, but I can see how
Yeah.
some people it offends, but hey,
Oh, yeah. I mean,
whatever works, right?
listen, if you go door to door and you've done that and you've experienced that, you nothing offends you. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing.
You get
Nothing.
doors slammed in your face. It's like, thank you very much, and you're on to the next
Exactly.
door.
Next door. And they always buy.
Isn't that something?
My
Isn't
son was
that
crying
something?
the other day, and this was a couple years ago, but the lady said, no soliciting in this neighborhood. And I was standing at the end of the street and I put my arm around him. I'm like, Ty, this is such a great learning opportunity. Go to the next door. And as he was still had red in his eyes and stuff, we wiped the tears off his eyes. He went up to the lady and she bought, like 5 bags of chips.
Yeah.
It's like that's how life works. Don't
Isn't
get discouraged when that one negative person, don't let them take away your positivity. Don't let them discourage you. They don't have control over that. Only you do. So,
Yeah. And you can almost when you're going out talking to people on the streets of the internet or whatever you do, you can almost will the sale to happen. I mean, I can, you go to the door and they say no, and you say to yourself, this next door, I know they're going to
yeah.
say yes. You know what I mean? And it's such a magical thing to experience. I say it all the time. Everybody should get out there and hit the neighborhood and go talk to strangers. Because today people are so strange. People just don't, they just have a problem with people, and that's just what a way to live. I don't know. I can't understand it.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, a lot of people, I mean, they only know how to communicate with one of these.
Yeah.
And even if you call them, they don't understand that. They just think it's a texting device and a social media device.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's fun
people don't
to
people don't
mess.
pick up their phones like they used to, right?
You're exactly right. But when you do finally get a hold of, there's a lot of people out there that are like, holy cow, thank you so much for calling me. Nobody calls me anymore. Like, what a secret weapon that you can do. Face
Yeah,
to
yeah.
face, podcast, pick up the phone and call people.
Oh, it's the
It's a
best.
game
I love
changer.
the video talk. I call my mom and I video call her, and she's in her 80s, and so I taught her how to do the video call. Now she's always video calling like my brothers, and she's video calling me.
Good for her. She
Yeah,
loves it, right?
I'm at the kitchen table with her. It's great. I
Oh
love the
man.
kids. Yeah, so I wish we could go longer. We could, but I'm saying, I've got something else coming up here in about 15 minutes, and I want to get ready for that. And plus, my wife is also messaging me to remind me of that. But Troy, you are a true champion. I appreciate you very much. We're going to put this up on Spotify. Once we do that, we'll get that sent over to you so that you can hear our wonderful talk. And I know you have something you'd like to plug. What do you got going on? You want to, what can we put up on the description up on on
Yes.
the deal? Yeah, go
Super
ahead.
easy. Savvital, 2 V's, Savvital. We're the
Yep,
only company out there named Savvital. It's my virtual assistant company. It's an amazing, I mean, I would just love to have a strategy session with anyone that's listening. Show them how we might be able to help. Maybe we won't. But
yep,
just to meet the quality of people we have, it breaks down to $13 an hour to have some of the most amazingly talented people in the world working for you directly. So um, just Google Savvital, savvital.us. Savvy plus vital is what Savvital means. That's how we smashed it up.
yep.
But we'd love to have a strategy session with anyone and learn more about your business. See if we can help scale it.
Yeah, very good. And we're gonna put that website up on the in the description, so it'll be there for people. Savvital, and
.us.
yep, and we'll
We
get.
couldn't get calm, of course, even though we're like the only company named Savvital.
Yeah, I was lucky to get smoothietext.com.
That's a good one.
I
That's
was
actually
excited.
really good.
I was excited to get that deal. But Troy, you are the man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And we'll be in touch. You know what? In a year again, we'll get back on here, maybe
Oh,
8 months or so, see how we're both doing and keep each other motivated. Sound
you're the
good?
man too, Jack. it was great getting to know you better and learning about Smoothie Techs. And yeah, hopefully this will be a great friendship for
No
many
doubt.
years.
No doubt. We'll be in touch. Thank you so much. God bless all you do.
Yes, sir. Take care, Jack.